Nityanandam, everybody. Thank you for taking the time for listening to this video. Today, I'm going to be sharing, and I have quite a few other things that I have pending, but I decided to come live here now on Facebook. But of course, I'll upload this video on YouTube as well. And I decided to come and speak about an important topic at the moment. So there is a famous, very successful actor, Sushant Singh Rajput, and he left the body. But how he left the body, the choices he made at the moment, it is said that he had committed suicide. And a few days prior to that, his ex-manager had also seemingly, from what is reported, had jumped off a building and committed suicide. So I felt compelled to come and share on the topic of suicide. It's not about spreading any false news or anything like that, but the topic of suicide itself. And from what I've learned, from what Swamiji has shared, my guru, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nityananda Paramashivam, what he shared, I've just written down like a few main key points that I wanted to cover in this, in this short video, and to keep it as short as possible because I know all of us have a busy life. So first of all, when we are in the body, when we're living our life, and what is it that can drive us towards, taking such a huge step as committing suicide? That's one. Number two, my own experience of when I've had these kind of thoughts and what has helped me. And of course, what happens after you leave the body, as Swamiji has described. I can share that as well. So very quickly, when we are not attending, see, if we look at, there will be lots of videos I've noticed on YouTube. There's lots of videos on people speaking about mental health, example. Yes, but at the moment, the way psychology is set up, the psychology industry set up, or the industry when it comes to medication, my ex-husband, for instance, was on depression medicine, and it didn't really help. I was there. I was actually living with the person who was depressed, but he was also taking medication. And both of us were going through our own, crazy time. It was a very tough time because his father had just passed away, and he'd passed away from cancer. So it was a very traumatic time for him, of course, and also me, because I was quite close to my ex-father-in-law, my late father-in-law. Now, a lot of things have built up in my life, but see, the key thing is when we are in the body living, it's the powerlessness that we feel in any given situation. We feel the inability to make things happen the way we want to make it happen. And therein, like, there is no solution, no answer. It's almost like we're kind of drowning in a pool of powerlessness and stagnancy, and really that feeling of this is impossible, there's nothing I can do to change, giving up, withdrawing from life. And recently I got a big click from what Swamiji had shared, that withdrawing is also an extension of fear. And this really opened my eyes up, in a big way. So anytime I'm thinking of withdrawing, there is some sort of fear. And powerlessness is that we start withdrawing from life. See, for myself, when it comes to depression, I did get to a point where I thought, I just cannot go on another day. There was so much pain in my heart, and I didn't feel I had the right support. I didn't feel I had friends who could help me. I didn't feel that I couldn't go to my parents because I didn't want to burden them with my problems. And, there's a lot of like, I don't want to bother people, so I'm not going to take their time up. I don't need to share. These kind of things came up for me as well, at the time. So what was it that I did? So we have here a organization called the Samaritans, and I had shown an interest to want to volunteer for them in 2001, 2002, that, about 18, 20 years ago. And they are a beautiful organization that just listen. The volunteers come and they just listen. So you make a phone call and they will just listen to what you have to say. They were so helpful in that very, 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 very hard times in my life. And they just listened. So in the morning, I called them and I said, I'm feeling very weak at the moment. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm having stupid thoughts where I'm thinking about ending my life, etc. And they just supported me. They listened to me, and then they said, we'll call you back to make sure you're okay. And they became my friend. It's complete stranger. They don't know me. They gave their time and life. And of course, they called me back that day. And then I was able to settle, knowing there was something I was able to hold on to that took me to the next day and the next day. That is the physical help that I had. The very, very subtle help that I had also was I had my guru. Before I met Swamiji, I also had Satya Sai Baba as my guru, and he was very much present in a subtle way, making sure that I got all the right support. So that's the subtle part of it. See, then of course, my life has led to the point where I've been able to change all the things that I need to, and sitting in a very powerful space where I feel powerfulness. Okay, it's not about I have a position or I have cars or houses that make me powerful. If there's anything to be learned from what has happened to this wonderful actor, so talented, extremely good looking, so successful. Any movie he did, he was very successful. He started his career from TV roles, simple TV roles, and then he managed to go all the way to very, very successful, very high earning movies. So he had everything. He had every bit of success. External wealth is not necessarily the only investment to be made. Surely there was some sort of emptiness happening inside. So we may be looking for items from outside to fill us, but it doesn't necessarily fill us. So what is the way to turn it around? I'll share that in a moment. What Swamiji says is the impact of a decision to on purpose leave the body, to end your life. See, that first of all, when we think we are going to end our life, it is not a reset. So for instance, you've got this life, and if you decide to end this life, it's not like you're resetting. It's like you're not just turning your phone on and off. You're not turning your laptop on and off. It's not like that it's going to reboot and you're going to be able to start afresh. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so whatever it is that we haven't dealt with here and now, you'll have to deal with that later. But when it comes to suicide, the way Swamiji has explained it is, after you leave the body, there is a waiting lounge, and there is a lot of torture and torment that being goes through, because so many things were left unfulfilled. So really, suicide is not the answer. It's not the answer. So what is the solution? I will get into it. However, that is not the answer, because if say for instance this actor was 34 years old, and he was supposed to, just say, okay, he was meant to live to 100, because that is the choice he had made before he took the body. Example. Then that between the age of 34 to 100, he'd have to wait before he can take another body to have another birth. Okay, and in this time, it's a bit like the way Swamiji explains it is, you've got a big, banquet of food in front of you. You're really hungry, but you can't eat because you don't have a body to eat. So all of the things that were tormenting us anyway continue to torment us, yet we cannot do anything about it. We can't find a solution. There isn't a Samaritans to call and get support. There isn't some sort of positivity program that you could go to and start changing the things you want to. There isn't completion that you can do, because the system to cognize it all isn't there anymore. So what is the solution? Completion, learning completion. The way Swamiji has described, the way it's been given to us from directly from Paramashiva himself to Devi, the technique to relive, to relieve. So anything, doesn't matter how big the problem was in the past, it is possible to completely complete it and start afresh. and live a blissful life. It is possible. It's very much possible. So these are some of the things that I wanted to say. And like I said, Swamiji has said that I think it's the worst choice one could make. See, the impact that it has on parents, the guilt people will feel around that, they wish they could have helped. To me, the reason I'm even passionate about speaking about this particular actor is because I followed his, I've followed, not like in a big way. I've spent lots of time, going into his life and learning more about his life, but just I followed his success. I followed the trajectory of his success, and he was a really, really smart, hard-working person. I could see very talented, extremely talented, and so easy with his, whatever movie he was in, whatever role he played it so well. So he had everything. One of the most good-looking, with the perfect features, you'd even say that. And then success came to him. Yet, sadly, his life ended in this way. I'm wishing for all of his family, all of his friends and family, of course, his fans, just wishing everybody the best, and blessings for all of you to come out of this shocking news. It shocked me yesterday. It genuinely shocked me, because my mom came into the kitchen and she was a bit sad faced, and I said, "What's up with you? What's going on?" Why? And she said, "Sushant Singh Rajput has left the body. He committed suicide." And it was I said, "No, Mom, please. Yeah, no, can't be. It's just not possible." I was like, please. I was shocked. I was really shocked. So what I want to say as a wrap up is, one, when we're in the body, no matter how powerless we're feeling, it is possible to change it around. And we do have, you may feel uncomfortable knowing more about gurus. I understand, because there's such negativity spread in the media about gurus. I can understand if you don't want to stretch out immediately. I understand. But that option is the best option. Okay, to understand the stuck thought currents, which is karma, to understand it better, we do need the help of an expert, and they are the experts. So that's what I wanted to share. I trust you got value from what I have said today. Please leave comments. I'd love to, and if you have questions, if you want to know more, what I'll do is, once this video is uploaded on Facebook, and of course when I upload it on YouTube, I'll make sure I put all the relevant links to the videos. So it's your choice if you'd like to watch them. What I want to say is, to the youth of the entire, the whole, literally the planet, the whole globe, there are really powerful choices to make. Powerfulness comes from how you feel about you, not from the items you collect, because those items can be taken away. They're called perishable. They have an expiry date. Even this body has an expiry date, but what you take with you, powerfulness, that space, is what we take from lifetime to lifetime. And let's build all the right cognitions. That's what I wanted to share. Thank you so much for listening. Nityanandam.